Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
Yes, sir. It's Joe Bunn.
How are you, Joe?
Good morning, sir. I'm great.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morrow.
So I know this is technically the third week of 2020, and we've already put up 2 podcasts, but this is the first time we're recording in the new year because we recorded those in late December.
Yeah,
so,
we did.
Officially, Happy New Year.
Happy freaking New Year, my man.
Happy 2020. I know
Yes,
you're
sir.
already off to a raring start. I follow you on social, and I get tired just looking at your schedule, Joe. You're a busy man.
Big Earn texted me the other day. He was like, yeah, you're probably going to need a break soon. And I was like, I think it's February. I know it's February.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, on one of the last podcasts, you promised me that you would have your next vacation scheduled. Are you reneging on that promise?
No, for today, yes.
Yeah.
One more episode. All
right. Cool. So I guess today is a little bit of a potpourri. I have a few different topics. First of all, when I signed on, you said, did I rearrange the basement? So if you're not watching us on video, it doesn't obviously sound different, but yes, I did. Now, let me ask you, how much do you pay attention to my life? Why did I rearrange the basement?
The backdrop, the way things look in the background.
Right. Why did I basically pushed all the furniture off to the sides.
Oh, it's training time.
Yeah, very good, Joe.
It's training time. He's got some new jocks, new MCs.
2 exciting new MCs that I'm training. One of them, her name is Coretta. She's actually been an assistant music mixer with us for, I think, like 5 years now. And I worked with her in December, and she said, hey, how do I become an MC? And I was like, that's all you had to do.
That's it.
That's all I've been waiting on.
She's like, damn, I should have done this 3 years ago.
No, but you know what? We talked about it. She's had a lot going on in her life. And this was the first time where she realizes it's time. She's got a great outgoing personality. I think she's going to make a great MC. And then the second gentleman, probably, I don't think I've ever trained anybody who has worked with Elite for a shorter amount of time. He's a veteran DJ. Really good mixer, and basically it's the MC skills that we need to get him up to speed with. His name is Barry. He assisted with me, and he's assisted with Tommy, and that's it. So he's really only done 2 gigs with Elite, but I'm excited. This guy is a good-looking guy, great voice, and like I said, he's got the skills behind the. It was funny last week or 2 nights ago, we sang, and Coretta left, and he was showing me stuff on my system that I didn't know it did. So technically, he's a great mixer, but I've just got to fill his head with all the things about MCing. So yes, very good. The basement is rearranged if you're watching this on video, because this winter I will be working with Barry and Coretta. So excited about that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It actually just looks clean, like not cleaner, but it's a cooler look like the way it is right now. You know what I mean? It looks very like...
but it's not very practical, because to watch TV, I no longer have the couch there. So
right.
That's the only thing.
However, both of our teams have long since been sitting at home. So
that's true.
We don't need to worry about
I watched
football.
The playoffs with mild interest this past week.
Same.
It wasn't really. And the same thing. Sunday, I'm like, I'll check out the championship games, but I'm not obsessed with it. And then right before we clicked online, I just read an article that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction class of 2020 was announced.
Yep.
I'll go through the names real quick and see if you have an opinion about it. Whitney Houston is in. Depeche Mode, the Doobie Brothers, 9 Inch Nails, or as you said, Trent Reznor, Notorious B.I.G., and T-Rex are all inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Any comments from Joe Bunn about that? You want to hear who didn't get in their place?
Yeah, sure.
So basically, they boil it down to, I think, like 10 or 12 nominees.
Okay.
The people who didn't get in were Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, which I know is going to piss off a lot of DMV fans, Judas Priest, Kraftwerk, MC5, Motorhead, Rufus featuring Chaka Khan, Todd Rundgren, Soundgarden, and Thin Lizzy. Those were the bands that did not get in. So if you think there's an erroneous selection there, tell me who you would replace them with.
Can't we pull T-Rex and replace with like a Soundgarden or somebody like that? T-Rex is the only questionable. Everybody else deserves to be in that list.
Yeah, see, I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame needs to draw the line between a band that deserves to get in and an influential band.
Okay.
Like, I think a Kraftwerk deserves to get in as an influential band.
Absolutely. Hugely influential.
But not, and I would say the same thing about T-Rex. I mean, between David Bowie and T-Rex, they basically created glam rock, and not that glam rock was that big of an, a genre in the 70s. Right. Now Bowie goes on to an incredible career. Mark Bolan dies, an unfortunately early death. So they didn't stick around long enough to really have enough influence on music. But I think they were an influential band. So do they deserve to be in as a band? I'd say probably no, but as an influencer, I think they deserve to be in.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking of it more from a catalog. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know this band. But I mean, I know the band, of course.
But is that because? But I mean, Bolan died young. I mean, so is that
which I didn't know either. You know what I mean? So
the irony with Bolan's death, and you would know this, and I'm not calling you out on this, but anyone who read my book on the state and music, I covered T-Rex on a day. Bolan was deathly afraid of driving his entire life and never learned how to drive, never got a driver's license, never learned to drive. The irony is he leaves a party with his girlfriend. They get into a horrible car accident.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's almost like he had that premonition his entire life.
Right.
And, it's sad. I mean, listen, I think Mark Bolan would have gone on to an incredible career. Okay. Unfortunately, his life was cut short. But does that get you into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I guess they considered yes, Right. Pat Benatar, to me, she should be in. I think she will get in eventually.
Same.
I mean,
most of the people you mentioned in the not in list will be in eventually.
Tim Lizzy?
Questionable.
Yeah, questionable.
Dave for sure. Soundgarden
no
for sure.
No doubt. Dave Matthews. And I know DMB fans are probably up in arms, but I think this was his first year of eligibility. And I had no doubt that he'll get in. Yeah, I mean, Motorhead, I don't know enough about Motorhead. I don't even think I could name one Motorhead song. I'm sure in their genre, they're an influential band. MC5, again, I don't think MC5 has the catalog to get in, but they should be influencers. I mean, punk rock doesn't exist without MC5. Kick out the jams, motherfuckers. I mean, that is a great song, and they were an influential band, but I don't know that they deserve to be in.
That's a premature call.
Yeah. Shaka Khan, I mean, I don't know. To me, that's stretching a little. Todd Rundgren, I think I know more of Todd Rundgren as a producer than I did as an artist. So I don't think there's anything egregious missing. Maybe Dave Matthews, but again, they will definitely get in. There's no doubt they're going to get in.
Same with Cornell and Soundgarden.
Same thing with Pat Benatar. Yeah. So I think it'll be a fun telecast, although as this article points out, unfortunately, 3 of them won't be there. Whitney Houston won't be there, Biggie won't be there, and obviously T-Rex will probably perform, but obviously not without Mark Bolan. So that takes a little bit away from the actual performances when 3 of them have passed.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So the main topic, if there is such a thing in a potpourri type podcast, is I wanted to talk about when it's appropriate to advise somebody about raising their price. And I imagine that you get this question. You do a lot of consulting now, right? With the vault. Are you on the phone pretty much all day talking to?
No. I had to kind of tailor it back somewhat, just because
you found yourself that you were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do answer a lot of quick questions on email and DMs and stuff like that, though.
Should I raise my price, or is my price appropriate, or is that a common topic to come up?
It's a common topic. I think more so the more common topic is about, packages and my price sheet or my hidden price page, things like that.
So more how to present the price to the client.
Yep. Yeah, versus so much like tell me what to price myself as. Because again, you and I don't know their markets. I mean, you're in Jersey where there arguably could be more weddings in that region than anywhere in the country in any given year. Whereas so-and-so, a Mitch Taylor in Eucanabe, Michigan, or wherever he is, there's obviously much smaller population and number of weddings. You know what I mean? So what do you price it at?
Right. Yeah, so you kind of just answered
some of it
before I even had a chance to ask. I think that there are so many factors that go into what somebody should be charging that just handing out advice of you should raise your price is kind of irresponsible. And I thought of it because I recently put up a Facebook post 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. I had gotten booked on a 12th job this month in September, and so I took a screenshot of my calendar on DJ Event Planner.
Oh, I saw this,
and I just put up, my personal September already, and booking season hasn't even begun. And then I wrote "damn," which I think that might have been what people misunderstood. I didn't mean damn as in a bad thing. I meant damn like damn.
This is crazy, right?
Yeah, like in a good way. Like you taste, you have a nice dinner, and you're like, damn, that's that's the best steak I ever had. So a number of people in this post were like, hey, good for you, congratulations, that's awesome. But a few people said time to raise your price.
Break. Oh, and I saw that.
Time to raise your price. And I just thought, well, you have no idea what I didn't put my price on here. You know what I mean? And if I sold those weddings for $200, then yes, please give me that advice and please give me that encouragement. But I mean, I would argue that every single one of those weddings is sold for a really good price, and I'm happy with it. And B, you have no idea what my ultimate goal is here. My ultimate goal isn't just to pack my schedule, but to pack a number of other DJ schedules. So I'm not holding out for the topmost dollar because I want to be able to book Dominic and Tom and Chris and Phil and Jay and, all the way down the line. So I just thought, I think that's one of those things that you should really kind of hold back your knee-jerk reaction of time to raise your price, because there are way too many factors involved than just looking at somebody's calendar.
Going back to what you earlier said, Mike, and I never really thought about it that way. In my mind, subconsciously, I'm thinking that anytime I give advice, but it's irresponsible to just throw that out. You know what I mean? Especially somebody like yourself or myself that's considered an industry leader. If somebody reaches out to you for advice and you look at their price and they're $595 or $695 starting for a wedding, and you go, oh, this is offensive, you got to raise your price. Like you don't know that if it's his full-time or part-time job. You don't know what the area is like. You don't really know how long they've been doing it. You don't know if they deserve $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 like me and you probably get on a Saturday night. So it's just the exact word you said. It's irresponsible for somebody like me and you to just be like, yeah, man, this is not the price you need to be charging. You've got to double this right away, because next thing you know, you're getting a call, 9, 12 months from now, and they didn't book anything at that price because
and they're selling their gear because they have to get out of the business.
They're getting out of the game. Like,
right.
It's irresponsible.
And I think a big part of the factor also is how good are you at sales? It is harder to sell a larger price. And maybe before you even think about raising price, you got to go back to school and sharpen your sales tools, read a Mitch Taylor book or take a seminar and improve your sales, because, being worth something is one thing, but then being able to present it to the client correctly is a whole nother factor. I'm getting involved more and more in sales at Elite, and I feel like I'm almost kind of relearning the craft, because back when I did sales predominantly, email was just coming in. Now we do so much of our communicating through email and text. So I feel like I'm, sharpening my skills again to do this,
It's a whole different ballgame. And again, how, do you deserve that amount of money? How good are you? Like, do you need to sharpen your skills as an MC? Do you need to get better at mixing? Do you need, what is your show like compared to the people that are getting the $3,000 on a Saturday night?
Right.
And then at the end of the day, however you do it, and we don't have to get into the ethics of it on here, but you've got to know what other people in the area are charging.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? If I'm Joe Bunn, if I'm 20-year-old Joe Bunn and I'm coming into the middle of New Jersey market where there's Mike Walter and Jason Jana and Jack Bermios and all these, super like world-class DJs, and I'm 20-year-old Joe Bunn coming into the market. Yeah, I want to know what Elite is getting on a Saturday night for, one of their top DJs. And I don't want to come in, at the very bottom, but I don't want to come in at elite entertainment pricing. One, I haven't earned that. I don't have that reputation. I'm probably not going to get it more than a couple of times a year if I'm lucky. And two, it's just, you've got to earn your worth. You've got to put in the hours. You've got to do the shows. You've got to come in at a price that's affordable and relatable, I guess, to what you're offering.
Yeah, I've advised people who are moving to a new market, and I've given them that advice. If I were doing that, if I were moving to Raleigh tomorrow, I would come in underneath Joe Bunn's pricing because I'd want to fill my calendar. Now, my ultimate goal would be 2 years from now to be equal to your pricing, or maybe even more, who knows? But I would to fill my calendar because none of the locals know me, none of the local vendors.
Nope.
So just having the opportunity to perform more events in that market. I wouldn't be dirt cheap. I wouldn't undersell to the point of, cheating everyone. I would come in underneath everyone's pricing. So
yeah, you don't want to enter a market and piss people off by doing, the 450 wedding, including uplighting in a photo booth. But, you do want to come in a little lower. I mean, my sister's, brand new Bunn DJ company in Montana. Nobody knows Bunn, the name Bunn in Montana and the DJ world. So I told her, exactly that. Don't come in at the top and don't come in at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Right.
It scares people.
That affordable type. I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah. I'll end this with, I don't think I've told this story on the podcast, but I think I've told you this story personally. This goes back probably 20 years. I was meeting one of the industry people who is famous for "you should raise your price," and his initials aren't MF. If people are thinking it's him, and we were having lunch with a number of different DJs, and this gentleman was talking to me, and I think at the time we were charging $12.50. And he said, you need to raise your price. And it was one of those just like blanket, you need to raise your price. And listen, I'll take advice from anyone, at least consider it. I didn't go rip up my price sheet, but I was like, let me. And then halfway through that dinner, he took a phone call. And again, I'm trying to remember, it was 20 years ago. So maybe he even got a page and then went, because I remember him leaving the table and he came back to the table. There was a bunch of us having lunch and his mood was visibly affected. It was changed. He was not the upbeat person he had been 5 minutes ago. So we were all like, dude, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And he finally opened up to the fact that the phone call he had taken was from a client who had said they were going to book him. I think he had sent them a contract, but they were calling to inform him that they had gone another direction. And I remember in the space of a half hour, I remember thinking, so this guy's giving me pricing advice. I don't remember the last time one lost sale affected my mood. I mean, Elite Entertainment, we close a lot of sales, but we certainly lose a lot of sales. I mean, we don't have 100% closing rate by any means. Same. But I don't remember the last time one lost sale bummed me out that much. So that was an eye-opening moment for me to go, be careful who you take advice from.
I agree, man.
If
I agree
somebody's
with that.
one lost sale away from having their lunch ruined, maybe that's not the person you want to take pricing advice from.
Exactly my sentiment, Mike, because there's a million fish in the sea. There's a million shows out there. You can't let that one lost sale be, am I going to make this mortgage payment this month? You know what I mean? Like that can't be your business model, guys.
Right. It's kind of like when we were doing the workshop and people were like, hey, I'd love to come to the workshop, but I can't afford that 700 hours. And my reaction is, then you're the first person that should be at that podcast.
Absolutely.
And things or at that workshop, because if you're running shit so tight that 700 hours is you can't foot, then you need to figure out a way to
You're the prime client that needs to be there.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Cool. Anything else, or we put a bow on this?
No, let's put a bow on it, baby.
Put a bow on it. All right, Joe. Good seeing you, man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening,
everybody.
Yep.
Ciao.